Welcome to dinner at the Round Table Podcast with DJ John Tovar, Nelly Nell, Chris Ryder, and Bodega the DJ on the ones and twos. Your source to knowledge. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Dinner at the Round Table.
GG, I am DJ John Tovar, Nelly Nell, Chris Ryder. We all Dinner at the Round Table Podcast, your source to knowledge. We got a special guest, Nelly Nell. Do the introduction, please.
You know, man, straight live from New York. We got Jamel Deon in the house, man. Music artist, rapping hip hop to the footers, man. Welcome to Dinner at the Round Table Podcast, buddy. How you doing there?
Oh, I'm doing good. All is well, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
No doubt, brother.
For sure, man. We gotta have you on.
Yeah.
And we just want to get people familiar with you real quick so they can know what time it is, because we're about to play that hit single you got. She works hard for the money. Tell them who Jamel Deon is, man.
Man, just a rapper from North Las Vegas. Just making music for the hustlers, and people just trying to make longevity and just trying to make a legacy for themselves.
Absolutely, man. Definitely, man. You coming straight from the West Coast, the Vegas area. We definitely noticed in your other song, Deposits. I noticed that you we're out there in Vegas in the desert, man. I was like, yo, what's up, man? You know?
The desert.
Yeah, I can see the...
I got to all times.
Yeah. You know how I noticed? Because I seen the stratosphere in the background. That building is called it's called the Stratosphere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was in Vegas.
Tall tower.
Yeah, man. So, how is it over there in Vegas, though, real quick, before we get your song on? Is it how's the COVID-19 thing? Was it crazy down there, or?
Yeah, pretty much. We did have a little shutdown for a little while, but after a while, things started slowly opening back up. Things have kind of been back to normal. They just been doing, just a whole lot of places been doing the whole social distancing thing, and then of course with wearing the mask and everything. So I figured it wasn't gonna be long until they started opening things back up, just off of the simple fact that we talking about too much money.
Yeah, no, definitely, especially in Vegas, the casinos are open back up, so you know you're back in business. As soon as you see those casinos open up, you know something is popping again.
Exactly.
So, yeah, man. So they definitely the heat of the desert definitely shut down COVID real quick. You know what I mean? So that dry heat from over there. But anyway, man, we're gonna get into She Works Hard for the Money real quick. We'll be right back with Jamel Deon. You know, artist from Las Vegas, West Coast in the house. You know what I mean? We'll get on with his single real quick, and we'll be right back.
Let's go.
All she know is go get it. She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she know is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she know is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, putting herself and friends in position. Lavish lifestyle and fruition, fixing up credit, paying off tuition. Best thing for a man on the grind is a woman focused on a vision, getting her bag. Yeah, that's my type. Hold it down with the ease while I build her up, cause I know she the wifey type. There's more to her work, turn her crib to a home, break bread, her second nature. So I try to keep the pride all the way to the side. Let me go and give you some favors. How you treat a paper chaser. Let me cater to your wants and your needs one time. Let me know how you love to be pleased one time, cause I know how I feel being up in the field. Let a nigga beat it up till you scream one time. Know you got your own true inspiration, must admit it. Put me on to a thing or two when it's time to go get it. Did I mention she works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she know is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, boss lady in position. She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she know is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, one thing worth to mention. She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she know is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, boss lady in position. She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she know is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, one thing worth to mention.
Gotta go get it, gotta go get the bag, go get the cash, go get the stack. It's fuck these niggas, get the cash. So if you really want this, gotta apply that pressure. Just like the pack, gotta be loud and knock me off my feet. Knock me off my feet. Can you take me to my peak? Cause I can make you rejoice. I'm a different type of bitch, I'm with the shit. Yeah, I run this shit, spend the stack on the pack, flip that shit, make it back, simple math. Don't need a nigga, I'm about to hustle. So what can you add? What can you offer? I'ma need a super treat. Can you get a bring that super D? Yeah. Can you get this stack? Can you spend it all on me, a little treat? So what's it gonna be?
She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she knows is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, boss lady in position. She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she knows is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, one thing worth to mention. She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she knows is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, boss lady in position. She works hard for the money, she's so ambitious. All she knows is go get it. She's so in love with the hustling, one thing worth to mention. All she know is go get it.
GJ, that was a dope record though, man. Wow.
I appreciate it.
Wow, man. So actually, what when you create that concept though?
I always had that concept ever since ever since I started working on the Hustle With Me tape. I wanted something that resonated with the women. I was like, if I'm gonna have a tape that's gonna be talking about hustling, of course, being out on the ground, trying to get it and everything, right. I felt like it was just necessary to have, you know what I'm saying, to have that kind of record. But at the same time, I didn't want to get super preachy with it. I wanted it more so as a feel-good record, you know what I'm saying? And I would say to get a better idea of the inspiration behind it, if you remember the movie Players Club, that was a...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's dope though.
Yeah, seeing the concept of that movie, it did draw some inspiration.
Got you. It definitely has that West Coast feel, and it definitely has that Players Club groove for sure.
It definitely does.
I was trying to figure that out, and I was like, wait, I know I got that. I've heard that type of groove before, but definitely, man, I definitely like the
sound,
that it has. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, it was just that the beat caught me instantly. I was like, man, I gotta buy this shit.
Oh, word. That's how it came about. Wow.
Yeah, instantly. I was like, I need this.
I mean, you're from the West Coast. You have any inspirations though? Like any West Coast rappers though? Because I honestly feel that it kind of goes downplayed when it comes like West Coast music a little bit. I mean, before, in the 90s, it was definitely like, Death Row, obviously. But I mean, for you though.
Yeah, a lot. There's actually a lot. Because mind you, I grew up. Pac was one of the first rappers I ever listened to. And I've been listening to rap for probably about as long as I can remember, about 3 or 4 years old. So definitely Pac, there's some inspiration there. As far as some other West Coast artists, I would say E40, Mac 10, Ice Cube. Well, actually, the whole West Side Connection. Let me go ahead and say that. You know what I'm saying? Nip. There's another one, Snoop. It's the whole Dog Pound. Like it's a wide range of.
That's what's up, man.
It's definitely good to get that sound. That different sound, because a lot of rappers are making the same type of music right now, and to have like a groovy sound like that coming from the West Coast. You see it. You can hear like the gangster lean in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That definitely is a good approach. To tell you the truth, to have a different sound like that. Yeah.
I don't like doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. I always made, like, even just ever since I started taking rap seriously, it was like I always wanted to make an effort to make myself different and to make myself stand out.
There you go. A lot to say right now. Stand out.
Yeah. Definitely, man. But listen, man, What made you become a music artist? I mean, what made you get into music?
I've always been an avid music lover for, you know what I'm saying, for as long as I can remember. Always just been around it, you know, because like I said, ever since I was about 3 or 4 years old, that's when I first started. That's when I was first introduced to rap and just being introduced to a lot of different genres.
Who put you into rap music though? Not to cut you off, but like just your surroundings, people that you was around with.
My dad.
Your dad.
Yeah. Being around him a lot, because and I'm about to get into that too. Just introduced to a lot of different genres and different artists because kicking it with my dad a lot. That's when I was listening to a lot of Pac, a lot of E40, Snoop Dogg, Scarface, West Side Connect. And being around my mother, it was more so on the gospel realm. You know what I'm saying? R&B, soul, 90s hip hop, 80s hip hop. And then around my brother, we was listening to a lot of G Unit, Eminem, Twista, Fabulous, Jeezy, T.I., like just all of that. And then just the vibe that I got off of it. It was just one of those things where I hate to say love at first sight, because I mean that don't really mesh well, but it like the passion was just there ever since, like just watching different music videos, different performances, watching interviews, and then just playing around with the idea of it. Because I remember back when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I'm like, I would tell my dad, I'll be like, man, I'm gonna be a rapper one day. But I didn't start taking it seriously until I was like 14. Like I would always play around with the idea of it, and then it didn't start coming into fruition until I started taking it seriously around that time in my teens.
Got you, man. Yeah, man. I worked out for you, man.
So when can we expect the video, man? But she works hard for the money.
As of right now, I don't know yet. We just put in the finishing touches right now on the album. So once that's set in place, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Nice. But definitely, I want to talk about your other song, Deposits, too, man. I definitely like the vibe on that one. It's definitely it definitely still has the West Coast feel, but it definitely, you know, it's a real hip hop song where you're showing your skills and your versatility in your rhymes. I'm definitely love that song too. That song, how did that come about? Did you elaborate a little bit on Deposits as well?
Yeah, so I had bought that beat back in 2018. So
wow.
Yeah, I held on to it for that long, and that was before I even started like actual work on the Hustle With Me tape. And I had the idea for it, but at the same time, it was like, I know I need to take my time on this. Like I wanted it to, you know what I'm saying, come naturally. And then you know what I'm saying, with like, just as far as the vibe is concerned and everything, it just meshed well completely as far as like what I was talking about on the record. Just talking about the lifestyle that almost every, you know what I'm saying, every young dude ever thought of. And then later on down the line, that's when I decided to incorporate, you know what I'm saying, that's when I decided to incorporate the inspiration behind it, which was my pops, because, you know what I'm saying, being around him growing up, and then also him telling me stories about how he, you know what I'm saying, did this at a young age, you know what I'm saying, riding in lax, and you know what I'm saying, things of that sort. It's like in my head, and you know what I'm saying, being a little young buck, I'm like, man, I want to do this shit too.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Got you, man.
Well, let's talk about the Hustle With Me movement. The Hustle With Me movement, that's your movement. That's your
your t-shirt on and all that, man.
I like that, man.
What it is.
I like the graffiti bubble status that it got going. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like that. For sure, man. Let's talk about that real quick. What does Hustle With Me means? Like, what is that movement about? Is it just is this you as an entity, or is this like is this part of a project you're working on for a one-time thing, or just like you in general on some, like, you know, like similar to how other artists do? Like, you know, like Nippy had the TMC thing going. Is this your way of introducing your brand, Hustle With Me?
Yep. It's exactly how you said it. Like in comparison to like when Nipsey's TMC or like Jeezy's Thug Motivation, it's an introduction of who Jamel Deon is as an artist, and you know what I'm saying, the brand. And ultimately, Hustle With Me is just all about empowering yourself as an individual and creating a legacy and creating longevity for yourself, and having the mindset that you got to get it by all means, and just incorporating life lessons to elevate yourself moving forward. So whether, you know what I'm saying, whether that means cutting people out of your circle, developing a routine, you know what I'm saying, things of that sort, and then just keeping the mindset of I got to get it by all means, regardless of whatever BS is going on. My why is going to be going.
Wow.
Yeah, for
like
definitely, man. And listen, I wanted to touch up on that a little bit because on your social media, I don't know if you on your social media, you definitely give a lot of inspirational quotes. You're always talking about you know, positive things, and you're always giving people advice. You have like a little segment where you have a topic and you speak about it. I peeped that, and that's dope. You know, aside from you being an artist, you're showing people, you know, you also know, you know, about life, you know, trials and tribulations, that you're trying to give people positivity, and I appreciate that from you.
Yeah. That video, keep your discipline in check, definitely caught my attention. That's very true. Keep your discipline in check. Because I mean, but I mean, elaborate more on that though. I mean, because I mean, like something that I could definitely relate to, and many people should relate to.
Yeah, so with that, that was a video from last year, actually. With that, it was inspired off of this quote that I ended up seeing on Facebook, where it says something to I don't remember it verbatim, but it was to the degree of, don't work on the days, only on the days that only on the days that you feel good. And just thinking about it, and then also just from my personal experience, is like, there are days where I'm not always motivated to do stuff. There's you know what I'm saying, I may be tired one day, or there may be just a whole lot of stuff going on, or somebody done pissed me off, and I'm like, you know what, I'm done for the day. But at the same time, once you develop that mental strength, and once you develop that you know what I'm saying, that discipline to keep you going within that routine, it's like it becomes second nature, you know. And really just stressing the importance of discipline, because the motivation ain't always gonna be there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, discipline is everything to me, honestly. Everything is discipline. And you're right about that. There's some days that you don't feel as motivated, but you got to remind yourself of what's your real purpose, you know? Exactly. And that's how you become more determined, bro. But I mean, I appreciate that video though, bro, because that video definitely caught my attention on that, man. For real.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? That was dope. Love that message, man.
One of my favorite segments that you got on your social media, you know, where you go into, you know, talking about life stuff. Speak life into your conversation. I really like that one. I was really focused on that one. You know, you was like, what happens after after we chill, we have fun, and is there a conversation that could lead to something else? You know what I mean? Like, I definitely like the fact that you implemented that. Sometimes there's people in your circle that, you know, they're just about fun and you know, friends that you have that you just chill with. But then, you know, there's some friends that you gotta have that are more than that. You know, some people who can actually have positivity in your life, as far as like, yo, are we gonna get into some type of business together? Are we gonna elaborate on some social issues? And I definitely like the way you did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all about having that balance, because it wasn't me saying like, oh, we can't, you know what I'm saying, we can't have any fun conversations. We can't you know what I'm saying, we can't, you know what I'm saying, talk shit or whatever, and all of that sort. But it's like that we got to do that every time we link up. Like,
you know, right? Sometimes when we gotta talk about real, we gotta talk about, like, you know, life-changing experiences, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's life.
And it's like, And it's like I want to, and then it's not only that. It's like I'm the kind of friend that wants to see everybody that I'm kicking it with. Like I want to see you level up in some kind of way. It's like if you got like an idea, or if you know what I'm saying, if you have a thought on something, whatever, like, man, let's talk about it. Like, don't think that I'm going, you know what I'm saying, sit there and just talk about you like, oh, this motherfucker trying to get all philosophical or whatever. And he trying like, he look at him acting all brand new or whatever. Like, like, nah, let's talk. Let's chop it up.
Nah, for sure though. Absolutely.
Let's just give the listeners and viewers real quick your social media drops, where they can find your music, and where they can find just your whole movement, The Hustle With Me. Give them real quick a drop there of where they can find you. I know you have the social media, which is Jamel Deon, right?
Yeah.
Jamel Deon on Instagram.
_ Deon, right? To make it clear?
Yeah, Jamel _ Deon.
Got you.
Yeah,
and,
so yeah, so all the social media, well, Facebook, Jamel Deon, Twitter and Instagram, Jamel _ Deon, and then as far as the official website goes, that'll be JamelDeonMusic.com. And then if you want to get some Hustle With Me merch, it's gonna be JamelDeonShop.com. And then if you just go on Instagram, just hit the link in the bio and everything is there.
That's the good thing about Instagram, man. Instagram is like a business card nowadays, bro. Everything you
really?
got, everything there.
Digital business card now, right?
So it's like
that's treat it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For real.
Listen, so Jamel Deon here on Dinner at the Roundtable podcast, man. We like to have our guests elaborate on social issues, right? I know that when we first made contact with you, we definitely spoke about doing economic slavery. Now, just to give a little bit of background on your education, you know, not only are you a music artist, but you also have a bachelor's in business administration from the Grand Canyon University. I definitely know that you have some insight on economic slavery because you definitely have a business background due to your education. Let's just right into the main topic, man. Economic slavery. What are your thoughts on economic slavery?
I hate it. I definitely hate it. But yeah, as far as how I ended up getting into, you know what I'm saying, getting into that topic, it was really just trial and error, and then just my experience while being in college and then also being out of college as well. Because me and my roommate at the time, Tez, we would always talk about because we were in college in an interesting time, because although our families and, you know what I'm saying, people around us and people in school, they would always push the narrative of like, you need to go to college, you need to have a degree, you need to have X, Y, and Z. But like halfway through, you know what I'm saying, halfway through school, and then also after we graduated, it was something totally different, to where we were seeing people, you know what I'm saying, with bachelors and masters and even PhDs that's working, you know what I'm saying, warehouse jobs, and, you know what I'm saying, working warehouse jobs, working minimum wage jobs and things of that sort. And then that's when we had to realize that we came to the realization that although it's still an accomplishment, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying, the degree doesn't really hold that much, you know what I'm saying, hold that much value as far as corporate America is concerned. And then that's when we came to the realization we had to focus on making our own way. And even though, and then also we always had that entrepreneurial spirit. We always wanted to have our own stuff. And, you know, as far as the long term, and as far as what we wanted to do full time for the rest of our lives. So we was just mainly focused on creating that agenda. And then after school, working various jobs, both me and him, we was like, yeah, this 9 to 5 stuff ain't for us.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things about capitalism. Capitalism teaches people to be it's all about individuality, right? It's all about you doing what you got to do. Fuck everybody else. and it's all about what you need to do, right? And that's one of the faults of capitalism, you know what I'm saying? And economic slavery in general, the engine that actually, started, the whole economic system in this country, period, was slavery, right? Slavery as using free labor for people to gain wealth. And in today's day and age, is the 1% owning most of the wealth. You know what I mean? Based off of their resources to keep us down, the smaller groups of people, so that we don't rise up against them, right?
Exactly. And that's what we ended up learning all throughout. Like, I would say we started, I like to call it the unlearn and relearn phase. It started around, I would say, junior year of school, and we still learning to this day.
Oh yeah, you always learn.
Yeah. So yeah, it was definitely a major unlearn and relearn phase. Once we was in school, because when we started out, we thought like, okay, we smart enough to get through school, so we definitely gonna get a good job, X, Y, and Z or whatever. But then once we got out, we like, yeah, this is a whole different ball game around here, because I'm like,
what happens is,
absolutely,
yeah, the cost of living goes up. You work, you gotta work a job to make ends meet, to pay your bills. At the same time, you're trying to focus on getting a job in the field that you want to school for, your career, right? And it's kind of hard to survive out there, because if most of your income is going to pay your bills, it's very hard to focus on what you really need to accomplish, right? And that's the system that they built, where they want people to stay stuck in a system, where in a bubble where they don't really achieve anything, because they just focus on trying to live day by day.
Yeah.
Right. And then
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and then with me, I'm just a very by nature, I'm a resistant person. So it's like I know I wasn't gonna stay there long term, but it was like I had to think about, okay, I need to figure out what's gonna be the best job for the time being, so that way I could go, go in there for the information, for one, and then also have enough money to not only pay the bills, but provide enough capital to fund what I want to do, to the point where once that start popping off, I'll be able to leave that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to just say that, slavery really did, it didn't end. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different form of slavery now. So opposed to you, having your master, house you, feed you, you know what I'm saying? Now you got to do it yourself. So now you got to sell your labor in order for you to have your own house and feed yourself. So the whole concept is still the same, though, really think about it. And definitely when you really dissect it, economic slavery, is really about people still owning you. Because, you think about corporations, they own you. The minute you walk into your job and you clock in, you just walked into a private dictatorship. Whatever they say is goes. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's a whole different form, but the idea is still the same, though, as far as like slavery. And I'm glad to be having this conversation, because I think it's something that we need to talk about. People really, it kind of goes the other way for many, but it's still slavery. Really think about it. So I'm glad that you definitely elaborate on that, though, because even with college, as you mentioned earlier, right? College is big business. It's big business. You know what I mean? Like, my professor told me how much he paid to go to school compared to how much we pay to go to school. The numbers.
The difference in that is that before the government took more of the assistance in helping the public educate themselves, right? Then when private institutions and the actual schools started charging tuition fully, that's when it became an issue. You know what I mean? There's no secret that Sally Mae and whatever you call them, all these institutions, they basically bank off of people's trying to learn things, man. It's just insane. It's insane.
The concept even to put a price tag on education still mind boggles the hell out of me. Yeah. Won't you want to have a more educated, population? So why would we put such a high price tag on it and put people so much in debt where, you know what I'm saying, like they feel intimidated. They don't want to go to school now because they don't want to be joined to that debt, especially that, you know what I'm saying, we live in a different age where now, you know what I'm saying, AIs are taking over a lot of labor that, you know,
a lot of,
you know what I'm saying?
and
Like,
it's barely the beginning. It's barely the beginning.
Oh yeah, I agree. 1,000%. 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? It's something that that we have to really start to think about and assess this right now, because many people are going to get affected by this.
Yeah, man. You know,
it will.
The sad thing is that most people die before even reaching anything that resembles retirement, because you know what I'm saying, you just living day to day.
They say, because they say that it's funny too, because whenever you apply for these jobs or whatever, they try to you know what I'm saying, they try to bait you with the benefits and everything. They're like, okay, you there's a certain percentage, we're gonna match you with this 401k, we're gonna do this with your social security or whatever. But I'm like, I might be dead before I'm able to touch it.
Yeah.
Especially if you work me to death.
That's true. That is so true, man. We get so caught up of earning a living that we forget to live a life. We don't live that human experience. You know what I'm saying? And again, though, this is why we got to definitely understand what's going on. And I mean, especially now, because one thing about technology, right? Many go against it. I mean, I have to say many, but some people go against it because it's a threat to them. But I actually embrace it because I'm saying to myself, it makes my life easier. However, though, we got to implement that within our system, where now we can use machines, technology to relieve us so we don't have to work 40, 50 hours a week, but still have the same, you know what I'm saying, that quality of life. However, though, we got people that are just so greedy, all about making profits, and it's all about them just making more money and not really considering other people who are just trying to really depend on just labor for them to just basically earn a living. And it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, ultimately, it's just all about working smarter and not harder. And then not only that, it's a lot of it's. I feel like it's hard for a lot of people to, like you said, it's hard for them to embrace it because they've come to the acceptance that with the way that the system is set up, it as we all know, it's set to depend on it's set for you to depend on people, like from the minute that you're born, you're dependent on your parents. When you old enough to go to grade school, you're dependent on not only your parents but your teachers as well. When you graduate school, when you graduate high school, when you go to college, you pretty much dependent on your parents, probably still dependent on your situation, but your professors, your tuition and all that. And then when you get into the workforce, you're dependent on your bosses, you're dependent on all this, a whole bunch of bills, a whole bunch of politics, behind.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. This is why I'm so for the UBI. You know what I'm saying? I'm so for the universal basic income. We need something that's going to be fixed for us to at least have our basic necessities met, because again, though, technology, as we spoke about just now, it's definitely taking over, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the industries right now. And it can't be stopped because it's going to keep going, getting more advanced and more advanced and more advanced. And this pandemic should be a rude awakening for many, because again, though, now that things are done remotely, it goes to show you. It goes to show you. You know what I mean? So definitely, man.
The thing is, like you just think about how the whole the Constitution, when it was written in Philadelphia, the Senate was, and until, and even until this day, people might argue that it's still, whatever. But before they were put in that position, they were appointed there by, by people of the higher society. If you weren't wealthy, you weren't allowed to be a senator. And those same people are the same people that run the country now, that 1%. You know what I mean? So just to think about the history of how the Constitution was built and how certain people were in position to have most of the wealth while the Constitution was being written, and those are the same groups of people that still run the United States. It's insane. They've actually pushed policies to prevent most of us from overcoming our financial burdens. Basically how it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's crazy.
And then that's what, and yep, and then that's what and you gonna hear some of it. You're gonna hear some of my frustrations with the system a little bit on the Hustle With Me tape once it drops, which is gonna shake the plug, but it's gonna be out before the end of the year. So I would say the best way to kind of describe it would be, especially if you hate your job, there's gonna be a specific song for you.
Word. Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's very true, though, because most people do actually hate their jobs, honestly.
You know, I mean, you're right, because most people, they end up working in the places to survive, not something that they actually went to school for. You know, like you said earlier, like, you know, you graduated from college with a bachelor's in business administration, and then you were stuck in a dead-end job that had nothing to do with what you went to school for. That happens to a lot of Americans because, number one, a lot of fields are oversaturated. Number two, you know, there's no corporate America is real hard to get into if you're not white privileged, right? Even if you have good credentials, you have to have a connection. You have to know somebody in the inside already to get you in. And most people think that that's a myth, but it's actual facts. It's very hard to get into a corporate job if you don't know somebody, just because you probably don't have the right connections because you don't know the right people. You know, the white privilege, right? So that happens a lot, man. And it's sad how the United States, you know, was built on, you know, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But how are you supposed to pursue happiness where you can't even live your life because there's certain liberties that you don't have because you're just trying to make ends meet to survive? That makes no sense to me. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, and I understand not everybody's gonna be rich. Not everybody is gonna have billions and millions of dollars. I get that. But if we have the basic essential things covered and we can live a comfortable life, things will be much better. Most people just want to live comfortable. They don't even want to be rich. They want to be able to have a good time, go out with their friends, and not worrying about, oh shit, I wasted $100 in dinner. Now I can't pay my bill next month or in 2 weeks because I just wasted $100 in dinner. You know what I mean? And most people can't even have a life because of that, because they're just caught up in paying their bills to live their life day to day.
And one thing I want to point out is basically, when you talk about the Constitution just now, when they say all men are created equal, that's bullshit. We're not all created equal. We all born in different classes. So how the hell we born created? How we born created equal? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta definitely understand that rhetoric, man. It's just crazy. You know what I mean?
Right. We discriminated by the time we were born.
Huh?
We already discriminated by the time we born.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 1000%. Again, this is why it's a joke, though, man. Like, when you really go back in history and see the rhetoric they try to put, it's like you gotta just like laugh at it, but it's serious though at the same time, because it definitely has an effect in your livelihood, you know. And you gotta really understand what's wealth, what's really wealth. And to me, wealth has always been what you can offer without the use of money. You know, because I know people that have wealth, and when I say wealth, I'm not talking about money, but meaning where they able to really not depend on the government, not depend on the on other systems. You know what I'm saying? And you know, right now, in all honesty, with technology, as long as we do it the right way, it's not privatized, it could definitely change our lives, because we definitely heading to a point where we don't have to really rely on that third party. And what I mean by that is that with technology, we don't, because I mean, right now, for example, Jamel, your music, you don't have to rely now on the label to really push your music out. Now you have a platform, you have the internet to really, put your music out there. You're able to cut the middleman out, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
because back then everything was physical.
Yeah.
That's
you don't have to like actually make the physical copy, CDs, print out, none of that stuff. Everything is digitized. So we're definitely shifting into a different economic era. That's for certain.
That's what automation is going to cut out the middleman. And you know who the middleman is? Us, the human beings. Automation is going to cut out the middleman. The middleman is me, you, Jamel Deon. He's gonna cut out us human beings. Really, we the middleman. Once automation comes in, they don't need us anymore for labor. Now they got machines doing it. So it's a very
because they
scary
basically
situation.
already cutting us out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by far. The numbers are crazy right now. I mean, economists are predicting by 2034, about 40% jobs, 47% are going to be obsolete.
Obsolete.
The machines taking
over.
Yeah.
So I suggest that everybody starts trying to be a socialite or trying to get into e-commerce.
It's crazy that you mentioned all that too, because I started noticing that probably like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, because I remember it was different scenarios too. There was this one time my mom had texted me, and she was in Walmart, and she was like, there's this machine that's going around where it basically just stocks, it basically self-stocks stuff. She was like, people about to be out of jobs. It's crazy. And then with my homeboy Tez one time, it was a McDonald's that we had lived by. He was like, bro, there ain't even no cashiers over there, barely.
Oh,
you can literally just go on the screen and place your order, and then they just bring it out to you.
Yep. Yep. My friend Brian, he went to Tokyo, Japan. He said, forget about it. He said everything there is 99% automated. It's crazy out there in Japan.
I'd expect it from Japan.
Talking about Japan,
yeah.
Even like if you like, they have these concepts in most hotels, like in most major hotels over there. And I know off a testimony of a friend of mine, he was out there. He does like data analysis systems, whatever, and he had to stay in 4 different hotels, right? Major hotels, like the big chain ones, right? And he ordered room service, and guess who delivered the room service? A little robot that looks like the robot from Star Wars. The little robot from Star Wars came to him, and he knocked on his door, and he's looking through the people, and he's like, "Yeah, hello, who is there? Who's there?" And and it was a little robot. And when he opened up the actual door, down is like a little small 3-foot robot. It opened up like the middle of his like belly, has like a little thing right here, and like a little thing in the middle, like a little console. Open it up, and it served him his cheeseburger that he ordered. And he signed the paper. He signed the paper, put it back in, and that's the way that he was receiving room service. So even in the hotel industry, like, it's crazy. Like, there's not going to be somebody bringing up your food anymore.
Absolutely.
Sure, and then it's definitely going.
What's going to happen to us, right?
I mean, it's already happening. Look, there's people that don't even. I know people, personally, they don't even go outside to shop anymore. Like, even to the supermarket, they just order stuff from Fresh Direct, from Amazon. Oh shit! I need a fucking salads and spinach and chicken and pasta, whatever, for the next week to survive, whatever. And they'll order through Fresh Direct and Amazon, and they don't even go to the supermarket anymore because they're
Walmart do that
part of the
too.
System now. That's insane.
Walmart and Target do that too.
Oh yeah, Walmart and Amazon are the biggest online shopping websites.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
biggest, absolutely. And I mean, what I think though, if it's not stopped by these people that are trying to limit progress, when 3D printing becomes more advanced and more affordable, people are going to start producing their own products where you don't have to depend again on the middleman. You can actually make it on your own. Because I mean, honestly, I know people actually growing their own food already. I have a friend who has a vertical farming in his kitchen. This dude grows his own food in his kitchen. And mind you, he lives in an apartment. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a backyard, none of that stuff. This dude got a vertical farm in his kitchen, growing his own food. He's straight with food. So let's imagine now, growing your own food, 3D printing, you're able to create your own products, your own materials, and just really have everything that you need.
You
But it's
basically got a
all about-
legal trap.
It is, yeah. And just imagine though, when we really focus more on renewable energy, because I mean, it's just ridiculous though how we still running on fossil fuel. Like I mean, it's like crazy. You know about like oil, and we still running by this because these corporations are still making billions of dollars, where we still haven't resorted into solar energy, geothermal energy, wind energy, things that are natural it's given to us for free by the earth. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna get to a point we have to go into that renewable energy. It's gonna, I mean, it's a matter of time though. We have to. You know
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah. But I really strongly believe it's gonna happen though, man. But again, though, I really believe they're gonna try to really delay that progress though. You know, because
people like Nikola Tesla was trying to give us free electricity, and they ousted him. They made sure that he was gone. So I mean, it's all a business. America is a business. America is a business. Everything about America is a business. The day that you're born, you're already considered a commodity to them. They're gonna make money off of you regardless. The day that somebody's born, if a baby's born right now, he's already a commodity. Like America's gonna make money off of him, which it should be like more or less the other way around. You can make money off of them, they can make money off of you. But in this America that we live in, they make money off of you.
Yeah, absolutely. But Jamel, I want to ask you a question though. I mean, you in the music industry now, how's it been so much easier for you to get your music out now? Because, I mean, one thing I always say though, I mean, what's your take though about, you know, when you have, honestly, artists though, who really, you know, rely on obviously fans listening to their music, but now where you can't really sell your music now, right? Because, you know, everything is digitized where you can share your music now.
Right.
So what's your take on that? You know, you as a music artist.
I mean, I love it, to be honest. Cause I mean, that's all I've really been, cause I started putting out music in 2014. So I always been on the, you know what I'm saying, on the digital wave, because I started putting out, because I had before I started streaming, I had 4 mixtapes that I had on SoundCloud. Because 2014 I put out one. From 2015 to 2014 to 2018, I was putting out stuff on SoundCloud. So I was already, you know what I'm saying, already on it in a sense with, you know what I'm saying, with the SoundCloud wave. And then I was still doing hard copies, but at the same time, it was more so I already had an exit strategy for it. Where I already had an exit strategy for it, because I was like, okay, once I get to I was like, once I start streaming, I'm not doing no more hard copies. And then actually no. Yeah, I was like, yep, I was like, once I start streaming, I'm not doing any more hard copies. And that was 2018. But I slowly stopped like around 2016 when I put out my 3rd mixtape. But I was really heavy on it the first 2 years, but all the while it was something that I embraced, and I felt like it was definitely just convenient for me. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So I don't see a, you know what I'm saying, I don't see an issue with it. And then not only that, just being able to do everything myself, and then just from the touch of a button, just go on DistroKid and have all my, you know what I'm saying, have all my shit ready, and then just have it out to all these platforms. I'm like, okay, I could get down with this. Like, cause back then, as we all knew, you needed a distribution deal or something. Like you had to go through the labels for you to, you know what I'm saying, for you to eat like that.
Right.
Unless you have a plug or some of that. Or for example, with E40, he didn't even have to go through a label like that. His uncle had a distribution company.
See, I didn't know that. See that? Wow.
A lot of artists had a street team. They would go out there and sell music out of the trunk of their cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They start off they start off in their communities, and they go to the neighboring communities, and then, you know, it was word of mouth. and selling CDs straight out of the trunk of your car. So basically, I worked back then. So I mean,
I was doing that.
I was the poor man's distribution.
Yeah, I was doing that my first couple of mixtapes, like I said, because when I put out my first mixtape, that was my first year that I got on campus at GCU. So I was just passing out. So I was just passing out CDs for my first two mixtapes, and then when 2016, when I did the No Hook tape, that's when I started selling them. So but then again, like I said, after after that, I was like, okay, I ain't doing no more hard copies. I got to get a move on. Especially after things.
It costs money too, though. I mean, making hard copies, it adds to your expenses. But now it's easier though, because now you can do it digitally, where it cuts the marginal cost.
Yeah, I thought about the overhead. I was like, yeah, it's starting to get a little too expensive.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening with how our economic system is changing because of technology, where it's cutting the middleman, cutting expenses, cutting corners to make it easier for everybody. But at the end of the day, is stopping other people from having a job. So that's thing. So we got to think about that. It's easier for the individual who's trying to make their mark independently, right? It's easier for that person. But then there's other people that are losing jobs because of that, because of the technology is making things so easy for everybody that they don't need a middleman anymore. They don't need somebody to make the transaction from left to right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at now, man.
Yeah, and that was just piggybacking and furthering the point of, instead of shying away from it, you got to embrace it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even at some of the stores out here, there's signs that saying like there's a coin shortage.
Oh, I saw that too. When we get to $1.
Yeah, that's for real. It's for real.
That's crazy. Yeah, you're right about that. And the funny thing about it, it actually costs more to make the coin than its actual value. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah. So
that is crazy.
That's why that's why digital currency and debit card transactions is like, that's what they made it so that everybody can start moving that direction. I mean, how many people do you know that actually carry cash on them? I know a lot of people that don't carry cash on them. I go to dinners sometimes, and there's a group of 10 people, and there's like 10 cards. Boom. I'm like, hey, can anybody bring any cash? Not really. We use digital. Our money's like in our, nobody uses that anymore. And that
I barely keep cash on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I get that a lot. Yeah. I mean, even when like a homeless person comes up to me, I just send them straight up. I don't really carry cash no more. You know what I mean? Everything is digital, and that's just the hard reality. That's just the truth though. But it's happening though, because my boy, he went to Switzerland and he's just head over there. Everything is almost digitalized. Everything, like cash doesn't even exist over there. You know what I mean? Most parts in Europe, it's all digital. The only downside about it, they have to your whereabouts. They know where your money's flowing at. You know what I'm saying? So they have more of a oversee of how you manage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all about It's all about how they monitor you, man. They want to monitor everything that you do and make sure that they keep you stuck in that little realm that they want you in.
Right.
Yeah. Because let's say for instance, like
you can't avoid it though, right?
Can't avoid it. I mean, when everybody's following the same stream of stuff, right? It's very hard. Right. The masses is doing everything. It's very hard and then we look like crazy people when we talk about it. Everybody's like, oh, that's crazy. You guys are retarded because you guys are talking about something. No, I mean, this is actual facts, and people just get too in tune with people get too in tune with what the powers that be are trying to do, that they forget about what their plan is, right? They're like, oh no, it's just part of evolution. It's part of evolution. Yeah, in one sense, it's part of evolution, but in another sense, it's just a way for them to control us more.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And you know what? The movie with Justin Timberlake, where the currency is basically it's a chip inside your body, and that's your currency. And they have control as far as like what you have as far as like currency. And if you run out of currency, you will die. And honestly, I don't think it's too far fetched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the microchips is really real. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's gonna be the next move.
I don't put nothing past it. I don't put anything past. I don't doubt it, to be honest. Especially with the way this year been going.
Oh man, tell me, brother, it's crazy.
I know, man. Who's gonna take that vaccine, that COVID-19 vaccine? Y'all taking it?
Like I said, I don't put nothing past nothing.
Yeah, nah, for real though. I'm with you, Jamel. I'm with you 1,000%, brother. With you, man. Damn, bro. Like, who would have known this would have been happening right now as we're speaking?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know,
man.
it's
crazy.
It just is. It's not far-fetched at all to think that there's an agenda, because there's always been an agenda. Always. There's always been an agenda. All the time. Slavery, redlining, technology, artificial intelligence, automation, COVID-19, pedophile rings. It's all part of a big plan. You know what I mean? So we just got to take more time to think things through, because we're so busy trying to make a living that we forget.
And find a way to take it back. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I'm like whenever bullshit like this goes down, in the back of my head, I'll be thinking, yeah, what's going on is fucked up. But I'm like, hold on, I'm about to figure out a way to take advantage of this, because while everybody, you know what I'm saying, doing this over here, I'm like, okay, let me find a way to capitalize.
Yeah.
Look at the positive side of it. I see, definitely.
And
then put my people on game. Like, okay, I'll be like, hey, while y'all over here doing X, Y, and Z, here's what you really need to do.
Sure.
And unfortunately, we result to doing that because of the way that the system is. But hey, listen, this is the only way that me and my people's gonna make it out. We gotta find a loophole. Gotta find a loophole in the matrix, baby. Gotta find a move.
And I'm all for it.
Got to. Yeah, you got to, because how else are you gonna make it? If there's so many odds against you, you have to find a loophole to just take you and your peoples with you. And if your peoples ain't trying to come with you, you gotta piece them out.
Exactly.
Even behind, you know what I mean? So that's basically
Exactly. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. When I was
Listen, man, Jamel Deon, man, we definitely appreciate you coming on the show, man. We definitely appreciate your knowledge and you dropping a few gems today. We appreciate your music, and we definitely wish you success and all of luck in whatever you do as far as your career goes, brother. And we just gotta keep on moving, man. Keep on striving, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna end it off with your deposit song. And before we end it off, I just want to give a little definition of what economic slavery is. Economic slavery is an outflow of our current world money system, capitalism, which creates an environment with such economic discrepancies where you have a small percentage of the population with all the resources, money, and power, where the majority is fighting and trying to find a way to just provide for themselves with the basic survival requirements, while the 1%, the super wealthy, control policies, resources, and our day-to-day lives. Economic slavery, baby.
That sums it up.
That's true. That's true. So we're here fighting for scraps. They're over there with big ass turkey thighs, like in the Viking days. Just eating that shit. Just watching us, playing with us like this. You know.
That is right. I mean, we like little puppets, right?
Yeah, man. And
they want with us.
Yeah, and on our show here, we have a final thought on our topic today that we usually do. We do a final thought on all our topics. We're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt to start off because you're our guest today. So what's your final thought on economic slavery, brother?
Man, find a way to capitalize and just unlearn and relearn as much as you can. That's advice to those that's stuck in it and trying to find a way out. And you're gonna get through.
You gonna make it. If you find a way, though, gotta find that way, though. You have to stay educated, man, and stay woke. You can't let the mainstream media and the masters get you involved in hysteria. You gotta focus.
That part.
Absolutely, man. John Tavar?
So, I mean, my final thought really quick. I mean, kind of piggyback what you just said, Jamel. I mean, when you think about capitalism, the root word is to capitalize. You know what I'm saying? So we got to really capitalize off this economic slavery and knowing that we're shifting into a whole economic, era.
Absolutely.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're definitely moving towards something, but we got to really embrace it, but use it in a way that's going to benefit us, not to, degrade us and not to really, replace us. In other words, like when it comes to like, monetary terms. So my final thought, just keep an open mind to new information and understand that, every cultural change in human history has been by technology, period.
Exactly.
And that's my final thought.
Yeah, man. Good one, John Tavar. So my final thought is, man, basically, man, learn, live, then live and learn. Does that make any sense? So
that made perfect sense. And the most concise.
My final thought, keep it short and simple, man. My shits be like parables, like Jesus, baby. I just say dumb shit. People be like, what the hell did he say? They figure it out 2 weeks later. Anyway, yo, Dinner at the Untitled Podcast, man. Jamel Deon, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Shout out to IB Productions for making this happen. You know what I'm saying? That's my people's right there, DTF Radio. Yeah, they made this happen. You know what I'm saying? They introduced us. And yeah, man, you already know what it is, man. We definitely want to wish you much success in your career, brother. You definitely got a nice vibe in your music, bro. We're going to be tuning into it. And we're always here to help, you know what I'm saying, push your product, brother. Independence, that's what we're about.
Bro, you gotta make it bigger for the deposits, bro. That deposit record, bro, I see it coming.
That's what we're ending it off as, We're ending it off with deposits, definitely.
Make the visual, though, man. Make the visual, brother, please. Please, do it for us, man.
Oh, yeah, there is a visual. There is a visual for the deposits. I'll send y'all the link for it.
Yeah, there is a visual. There's a video on it. I guess John Tavar missed the promotion.
Dope record.
Yeah, maybe John Tavar missed the promo videos we did. It was off of deposits.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the promo videos we did was off of deposits. So you already know, man. We out of here. We're gonna end it up with deposits, man. Official song. Jamel Deon, you already know, man. Peace. Thanks for coming on the show, brother.
All right, then. Appreciate y'all.
God damn, I see Pops in that S550 right there. Got the El Camino with them things on it too. Specking that 300. Money, cars, clothes, and hoes is all that make it complete, man. All that a nigga ever dreamed of and thought about since he was young. Toast up with the salute. Rest the riches at a high pursuit. Glisten glamour fantasies as the prime view. Niggas see the TMC rockin' thug style. Bank rolls with the knots make it worthwhile. Marathon for a young nigga's dream. Racks in the middle really painting the scene. Skip the price paid when you lust that full drip. The only way we see the glass half full. Stay scheming for the gleaming. Shoot the money shot with the infrared beaming. Drop top and rolly watch match a nigga aura. At the bag get summed up a nigga morals for the glory, huh? Ball hard through the north, puff the skunk pound. Make a call on the bitch, see what's up now. Amongst the twos and fews, come follow me. Money, cars, clothes, and hoes, wanna keep them by the three.
Making deposits, I don't really wanna let go of my years, my wallet. No matter how many times they try to step in the way, just know at the end of the day, that anyway, any day I get it, just know I'ma get paid.
Dreams from my OGs, regulating on the road to eat, proceed to YGs. Niggas see the TMC, rockin' thug style. Bankroll with the knot, told them up with the salute. Rest the riches at a high pursuit. Glisten glamour fantasies, that's the prime view. Multiply all duckets with the can, burn A11 fold, bend it blocks in the bed.
It was triple beam dreams for my OGs. Regulating on the road to E, proceed to YGs. Multiply all ducats with the can. Burn Bay 11-4, bending blocks in the bins. Risking it all to bang a ball, nigga. Recipe for riches, cause I call him bigger. Based on a true story in the Hustler's Handbook. Monday to Monday, by the hook of the crook.
Making deposits. I don't really wanna let go of my years, my wallet. No matter how many times they try to step in the way, just know at the end of the day that anyway, any day I get it, just know I'ma get paid. Yeah.
Man, this shit was crazy though. Just my pops handed me the keys to that S550 that he got not too long ago. Man, I ain't think I was gonna be able to ride in a big body like that. That shit was crazy.
Word, bro. That nigga gave you the keys.
Shit,
bro.
he told me to leave the car in the driveway, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, man, I'm just reliving and just doing what the fuck I wanna do.
Nigga over here pulling up thinking he Jay-Z and shit.
Shoot type shit. He just,
That's
you know what I'm saying, motherfucking inspiration to just stay on the agenda of doing what you gotta do now, so that way you can do what you wanna do. Like, man, he was the epitome of that shit.
Bro, we got this in the bag, man.
100.
I want it all, huh? I want it all, huh? I want it all.